You know, like I was sober for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And now why am I not sober? Because of you.
She thought beauty was her shield and money was her weapon. But on April 3rd, 2022, in a blood-soaked Miami penthouse, Courtney Clenney learned that neither could protect her from the truth. And what you're about to discover isn't just about a murder. It's about how a woman weaponized victimhood, manipulated an entire system, and almost got away with killing the one person who refused to fight back. The luxury apartment at One Paraiso tells a story that Hollywood couldn't write, where elevator cameras captured violence, secret recordings revealed terror, and a 3-inch stab wound exposed lies that unraveled a carefully constructed empire built on seduction, rage, and delusion. This is the case of an OnlyFans millionaire who believed the rules didn't apply to her, and the man who paid the ultimate price for loving someone who saw violence as just another tool in her arsenal.
I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm.
What,
ma'am?
My boyfriend is dying of a stab.
Ma'am, what is the address?
Baby, I'm so sorry.
Christian Obumseli was dying on the floor of apartment 2201, blood pooling beneath him, his chest punctured just above the tattoo bearing her name. And while he gasped his final breaths, Courtney wasn't calling for help. She was calling her mother in Texas, calculating her next move, crafting her narrative, preparing to become the victim in a story where she was always the villain.
I didn't say nothing.
You said I didn't.
You were leaning. Yo, you were dumb as You never loved me. Get out, for real. I never want to see you again. You! Get off of me! You literally talked to her without telling me!
My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you an acting comic.
You're...
Yes, thank you. Coming from Georgia, thank you.
I want you to get away from me!
No, I can't let this, okay? Wait, it wasn't me! Guys, please.
Relax, sit down.
Here. Okay.
Sit down.
Here, just let me.
Sit down.
Okay.
14 minutes passed between the stabbing and the 911 call. 14 minutes where a cryptocurrency trader who'd built success through intelligence and ambition bled out while his girlfriend decided which version of the truth would save her.
Relax, boss. Hey, you're bleeding a lot from here, man.
What's his name? Christian, relax.
When Miami police finally burst through the door, they found a horror scene painted in crimson. Blood in the elevator, blood in the hallway, blood covering nearly every surface of the luxury apartment that cost $12,000 a month. And standing in the center of it all was Courtney, covered in red, tears streaming down her face, performing the role of her life as the terrified woman who just defended herself against an abusive boyfriend. But here's what makes this case so chilling. Every word out of her mouth was a lie, and the evidence would prove it in ways she never anticipated, because Courtney Clenney had spent her entire adult life learning that beauty could manipulate, money could control, and tears could convince. But she'd never faced an opponent that couldn't be seduced. Forensic science. The journey to that blood-soaked Sunday began years earlier in Texas, where a middle-class girl discovered that her looks were currency, and social media was the marketplace where she could cash in, transforming herself from Courtney Taylor Clenney into an Instagram sensation with hundreds of thousands of followers who worshipped her curated perfection. By her early 20s, she'd mastered the art of monetization, and when OnlyFans emerged as the ultimate platform for direct-to-consumer content, Courtney saw her golden ticket and seized it with both hands, building an empire that generated $3 million in just over 2 years, funding designer wardrobes, exotic vacations, and a lifestyle that screamed untouchable. If cases like this fascinate you, subscribe now, because I publish new cases every week exploring the psychology behind crimes that shock us and the evidence that exposes the truth. Behind the perfectly filtered Instagram posts and exclusive content that kept men paying premium prices was a woman who'd learned a dangerous lesson, that consequences were for other people, that rules were suggestions, and that when beauty and money failed to get what she wanted, violence was always an option. That's the woman Christian Obumseli fell for in 2020, drawn to her confidence and magnetism, completely unprepared for the toxic storm he was walking into, because where Courtney was explosive and impulsive, Christian was measured and calm, a Nigerian-born, Texas-raised professional who'd built his career on calculated risk and careful planning, skills that served him well in cryptocurrency trading, but left him defenseless against the chaos Courtney brought into his life. Their relationship began with the intensity that toxic partnerships always do. Passionate and addictive, the kind of connection that feels like destiny, but is actually destruction in disguise. And by 2021, they were living together in Austin, projecting the image of a power couple while behind closed doors, a different reality was unfolding. Neighbors heard the screaming, the crashes, the unmistakable sounds of violence. But here's where societal assumptions became Courtney's greatest ally.
Behind closed doors, we just started hearing some shouting, yelling. We don't know who was starting what. We didn't get a lot of context. Occasionally we would hear some glasses break and some banging on the walls, floors.
Because when people imagine domestic violence, they picture a large man and a vulnerable woman, not a beautiful blonde attacking her boyfriend. And that bias would follow them from Texas to Las Vegas to Miami, protecting Courtney at every turn. The Vegas incident in August 2021 should have been a wake-up call. Police body cameras captured Christian with visible injuries and Courtney being arrested for domestic battery.
So, Chris, why am I here today? Tell me what's going on.
We're having a great day. We were supposed to go to dinner like 8:30. I was asleep. I wake up at 5. Morning on the couch. I was asleep. Go to the bed 3 times, which I did, and called. There's no reason to be here at all.
So obviously you're here because she called security. What were you guys arguing about?
It started what's called, she asked me to go to bed, just like, you hate me. I was like, no, I don't want you today. It was just like disappointed that like, we didn't do anything.
Did anybody punch, hit, spit, throw anything at each other?
The glass. They had a lot on my face.
Things got blown out of proportion, like to the max. We were going back and forth, like getting really loud. And I decided to call because we were getting really loud. It wasn't because I was scared or anything. It wouldn't hurt me. But I felt that we were either going to get kicked out or wake people up or something because it was just like escalating.
Okay.
I thought it was going to disturb everybody, so I felt the need to have him move from the room.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
What triggered her to throwing the glass at you?
Because my tone, like, she tells me to work on a couple of things, like my tone, facial expressions.
And after she threw the glass at you, did you punch her, hit her, pull her hair, spit on her, anything like that? So what do you do?
One thing I'd be like, babe, stop. I'm like, babe, stop it. I just don't want her to get in trouble. I go over too much, you know.
So when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Did you remember throwing the glass?
No. No. But that sounds like me. I'm so foggy. I've hardly any sleep. Like, I'm not even drunk yet. I'm not functioning. Does that make sense?
No, not really. Did you throw a bottle at him or a glass at him? So
Well, yes. Yes. I know. Because throwing things in my face.
Okay, once again, do you think you did it or you did it?
I did.
I tried to make it as short as I can. I don't want to give you a long speech here, okay? There's a lot of things that we have discretion with, and there's a lot of things that we don't. This is one of them. You guys are in a relationship. She threw a glass at you. The glass is there. She admitted throwing the glass. When that happens, I have to make an arrest. I can't tell the judge. Let me finish. Doesn't have any price for that. I don't think it's going to be any issue. However, the state here puts anyone that is a suspect in battery of domestic violence on a 12-hour hold. I can't let you go. Hey, no, I don't have to. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is what I have to do. The investigation shows that you threw a glass at him, and that in this state is considered a battery. And since you two are in a relationship, that is considered battery of domestic violence. It's a mandatory arrest.
Okay, there's a lot that I didn't say because I didn't want him to get in trouble.
Okay.
I probably been pushing down.
Anything else that you tell me, I'll be happy to put it on the report. But at these points, it's going to be transported, okay?
May I at least get a hug from my boyfriend before?
He's already gone.
After she threw a glass at him during an argument at their casino hotel. But the charges were dismissed and the incident was buried, treated as an isolated moment rather than the preview of murder it actually was. Christian never fought back, never called police himself, never exposed what was happening. And his silence wasn't weakness. It was the calculated awareness of a black man who understood exactly how that story would be told, who knew that in any he said, she said scenario involving a white woman, he would be cast as the aggressor regardless of the truth. So the cycle continued and intensified. Courtney would explode, Christian would endure, they'd reconcile until the next eruption, each one worse than the last, building toward an inevitable tragedy that everyone around them sensed, but no one prevented. In January 2022, they moved to Miami seeking a fresh start in a luxury high-rise called One Paraíso. 53 stories of elite living with 24-hour security, stunning bay views, and rent that would bankrupt most people but was pocket change for Courtney's OnlyFans income. And she believed this new environment would somehow fix what was broken between them, as if changing zip codes could heal the violence she'd normalized. But Miami didn't bring peace, it brought witnesses. Because the fights continued, and this time, building security, management, neighbors, they all saw and heard what was happening in apartment 2201. Police were called multiple times in just 3 months. Disturbances were documented, complaints were filed, and yet nothing stopped. Because everyone who looked at Courtney saw a successful, beautiful young woman and assumed Christian must be the problem. The building started eviction proceedings by March. Months of unpaid rent and constant disturbances finally forcing management's hand. But evicting legal tenants in Florida requires formal process. Time they didn't have because Courtney's behavior was escalating into something darker. February 21st, 2022. Elevator security cameras captured footage that would later become devastating evidence, showing Courtney attacking Christian repeatedly, hitting him while he tried to calm him down, pushing him away as he attempted to de-escalate. And his response throughout is critical. He never strikes back, never retaliates, only defends and retreats, behavior that completely contradicts the narrative Courtney would later sell. By early April, Courtney's world was crumbling beneath the Instagram facade. Eviction looming, finances somehow precarious despite millions earned. And Christian was documenting their fights. Secret audio recordings on his phone capturing Courtney's rage, racial slurs, and threats. Evidence she didn't know existed, but would eventually destroy her defense.
Hey, let me help you.
You know damn well the right thing to do is to tell me.
Yes, and I am so sorry.
So shut up and let me slap you, dumb.
You're not gonna slap me.
Give me my phone.
You have your phone.
I don't have it anymore. Find it and charge it.
What?
Find it and charge it!
I'm sorry, Courtney.
I don't care. Find it and charge it.
Okay, just stop.
Don't talk to me.
Man.
Yeah, man. Oh, good.
Because I'm telling you I'm sorry.
It's my heart. Find my phone and charge it. I need to find it because I have to go meet her again.
To go out?
No! Shut up! Please. Shut up. You went to go talk to her without talking.
I didn't go to go.
Yes, you did. You always want to.
Courtney, I was on.
He literally told me about it. Now he's like, damn.
What are you doing?
Yes, son.
I didn't go to talk to. I was going on a bike ride. Like, what the?
Get off of me!
Me going to talk to. I'm just gonna make you act like this? No.
You literally talked to her without telling me!
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and come here. Yes! Yes!
On April 1st, just 48 hours before the murder, Courtney called police asking about restraining orders against Christian. And the next day, her mother flew in from Texas, allegedly to help force Christian out of the apartment. But legal eviction was impossible on that timeline, which left Courtney with a decision: accept that Christian wasn't leaving, or make him leave permanently.
I'm scared. I'm scared of him.
Take her up to the apartment. Okay.
Her boyfriend comes charging towards her, and we actually try to get in the middle of it.
You told me I was
Time out.
Why do you have something against me, man? Like, I'm just trying to, like...
What has anything against you?
It seems like
We're
you don't
trying
like
to talk.
me.
You can leave the property, and you get back to your apartment. What else do you
I
need?
was told I was going to get a chance to speak. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I had a lot of opportunities to call y'all, and I did not. And I want him. Okay, the police are here. I want a restraining order against Christian Obumseli.
We don't issue those.
Because, no, I'm serious.
Courts.
Can I do that? Where
you have
can
to
I
go to court.
Right now, like, I have not always been the victim, but like right now I'm a freaking victim in the situation. I'm scared to go to walk my dogs. I just walked in.
We just run around.
I'm scared. I'm scared of him.
April 3rd began with deceptive normalcy. Christian filming himself lip-syncing to Kanye West that morning, happy and relaxed. Then by 10:30 a.m., both of them were playing with their dogs, laughing, being affectionate. Courtney even posting social media content showing them having fun. But beneath that performance, something deadly was building that neither of them could see, or maybe only Courtney could see, because she'd already decided how this day would end. Around 11 a.m., Christian left to buy lunch, biking to a nearby Subway and texting Courtney about what she wanted. Ordinary domestic routine that masked extraordinary tension, and when he returned around noon with their sandwiches, everything had changed. Courtney was agitated and angry, later claiming the fight started over location sharing on their phones because Christian had turned his off, a trivial issue that allegedly escalated into violence. But here's where Courtney's story and the evidence diverged completely. She claims Christian attacked her, threw her against a wall, choked her, forcing her to run to the kitchen, grab a knife, and throw it at him from across the room in desperate self-defense, a narrative carefully constructed to invoke every protective instinct society has about women in danger, except the physical evidence tells a completely different story that Courtney couldn't have anticipated. The autopsy revealed that Christian died from a single stab wound to his chest, positioned just above the tattoo bearing Courtney's name in cruel irony. But this wasn't a knife thrown from across the room. It was a forceful, downward thrust that penetrated 3 inches deep. The kind of wound that requires close contact, personal proximity, intentional force. And the medical examiner confirmed what investigators suspected. You cannot create that trajectory, that depth, that damage by throwing a knife. This was murder up close. The blood spatter analysis revealed Christian was likely on the ground when he was stabbed. The angle of the wound indicated the attacker was above him, and there was no evidence of the desperate struggle that would precede legitimate self-defense. No defensive wounds on Courtney, no signs of strangulation despite her claims of being choked, nothing that supported her story except her tears and her blood-covered appearance.
I can't feel my arm.
Ma'am, my boyfriend is dying of a stab.
Ma'am, what is the address?
Baby, I'm so sorry. Baby.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Please,
Ma'am, I'm sending help.
But what happened in those crucial minutes before the 911 call?
But what happened in those 14 minutes between the stabbing and the 911 call? Between when neighbors heard fighting around 4:43 p.m. and when Courtney finally called for help at 4:57 p.m. because phone records show she called her mother first, spending precious minutes coordinating with Texas while Christian bled out on the floor, time that could have saved his life, but was instead used to prepare her defense. When police arrived, they found blood everywhere. So much blood that first responders initially handcuffed both Courtney and Christian, unable to immediately determine who the victim was in that crimson nightmare. And Christian was rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where doctors fought to save him, but the knife had severed an artery and he'd lost too much blood. Pronounced dead at 7:11 p.m. while Courtney was already spinning her tale of terror and self-defense to investigators.
Working. My apologies for being absolutely covered in blood.
Listen, you don't have to apologize, okay? I completely understand. Mm-hmm. All right? Do you guys work here in Miami, or do you guys have your own business?
I do social media, so I'm an influencer, I guess that's what call it. Yeah, I'm an influencer. And he does stocks, and we have the dog picked out. It's golden retriever. We're gonna name Mello. So we're gonna get a house. So we can have a backyard. Because I have 2 dogs, and then we're gonna have 3. So we're planning on staying here for a while. I just hope we get the opportunity to do that. Thank you guys for giving me water and tissues. Is he okay?
He's still at the hospital. They're still,
I know.
monitoring him and talking to him. So we're waiting.
Oh my God! So he didn't even have to have surgery.
Well, I don't know. They're still doing X-rays and stuff like that. So I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear a response.
That's all I have to say. Thank God. Hopefully I'm over freaking out and like I'll be able to see him or whatever. Well, I got a chance to talk to Christian today.
To who?
Christian.
Who's this? Oh,
the victim.
They haven't told me anything yet.
If I'm the victim, he's definitely the victim. What'd you say? I had just gotten back together. I had broken up with him, and then he came back the last 2 nights, and everything was perfect. And then start into an argument, and I ended up getting scared, and I think that I overreacted. Or not overreacted necessarily, but reacted, and I just didn't know exactly what might happen. Before anything happened, we were going to walk the dogs down to this park over by the Paramount, which has the beach volleyball and basketball court and all that. We're gonna walk them over there and let my dog Ranger play soccer. That was my plan for the day. Would I be able to talk to my father? Because he's pretty much acts as my attorney with, not for stuff like this. Obviously, I've never been his son.
Is he an attorney or
no. He's just,
If you were under 18, then yeah, I would provide you a phone call to your father. But you're over 18, so
I don't feel like it. I was sitting there in a freaking puddle of my boyfriend's blood, begging him to please not give up on me, man, this serious. My boyfriend is not dead, is he?
Well, he can't talk to us right now. He's away from the hospital.
I want to be shit at the hospital. Am I going to be able to do that?
So far right now, I can't give you an answer. Okay, we just have to go through everything. Because remember, this just happened.
You guys have a history of domestic violence?
Yeah.
How many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know. But we shouldn't be together.
You say 1 or 2, or just too many to...
Oh my God. Oh my God. I haven't touched my ankle. It's wet blood. I just want to take a shower, God. Okay. No. We can.
I'll get you
I'm not trying to interrupt the.
No. You keep on.
What she didn't know was that while she performed grief and trauma, crime scene analysts were systematically dismantling every lie she told. The knife found in the apartment contradicted the throwing story. The wound angle contradicted her positioning claims. The lack of struggle evidence contradicted the attack narrative. And then investigators discovered Christian's secret recordings, audio files that captured Courtney's rage, her threats, her use of racial slurs. Proof that she was the aggressor and he was the victim trying to survive. Despite mounting evidence, Courtney wasn't immediately arrested. 4 months passed while prosecutors built an airtight case. And during that time, she fled to Hawaii, checking into a rehabilitation facility in a calculated move to establish herself as the real victim, traumatized by the experience of defending her life. But rehabilitation couldn't rehabilitate her story. On August 10th, 2022, U.S. Marshals arrested Courtney at the Hawaii facility, charging her with second-degree murder. And the beautiful OnlyFans millionaire who thought she was untouchable finally faced a system that didn't care about her follower count or her curated image or her ability to manipulate men with sexuality. And at her first court appearance, when her defense team asked for bail, Judge Lauren Soffer-Cruz denied the request, citing the severity of charges and the evidence against her. And Courtney's tears in that courtroom revealed someone finally understanding that beauty and money wouldn't save her this time. The case took another shocking turn when prosecutors charged Courtney's parents with felony computer crimes for allegedly trying to access Christian's laptop after his death to delete evidence. Text messages between defense attorneys revealed discussions about guessing his password, and while those charges were eventually complicated by attorney-client privilege issues, they showed how far the family would go to protect their daughter. Courtney's defense team hired experts to prove her story was physically possible, a forensic pathologist claiming a thrown knife could cause that wound, a knife-throwing expert named Bobby Branton demonstrating techniques on a pig carcass in one of the case's most bizarre moments. But even elaborate demonstrations couldn't explain away the downward angle, the depth, the lack of defensive wounds. The secret recordings proving Christian was not the aggressor he was painted to be. As Courtney sits in a Miami jail cell awaiting trial, having been denied bond and stripped of the luxury that defined her identity, she's learning what every narcissistic killer eventually learns, that consequences exist, even for beautiful people, that evidence doesn't care about your social media following, and that the justice system can't be seduced with tears and victimhood when forensics tell the truth. This case exposes uncomfortable realities our society often ignores. That women can be domestic abusers, that beauty doesn't equal innocence, that sometimes the most dangerous predators wear the most attractive masks, and that men like Christian suffer in silence because they know no one will believe them until it's too late. Whether Courtney's defense can convince a jury she was just defending herself, or whether the evidence will prove she's a cold-blooded killer who thought she'd get away with murder, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. Christian Obumseli believed he could help Courtney, save her from herself, and that belief cost him his life. Subscribe now and let me know what aspect of Courtney's case disturbs you most. The documented pattern of violence everyone ignored, the calculated 14-minute delay before calling for help, or the manipulation of victimhood to cover murder, because understanding these cases helps us recognize the warning signs before another Christian loses his life to someone who believes they're untouchable.